Good morning everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel BirdsEyeStitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here then welcome. I hope you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. And if you are returning, then thank you so much for being here. I am always happy that you are choosing to spend a little bit of your day with me. Especially right now. Today is Sunday morning, it's December 6th, which means we are 6 days into the land of Flossmas. I had never heard of Flossmas before this year. I don't know if I was under a rock or, maybe I watched it last year, but it didn't ingrain in my brain, so I didn't think about it for this year. So anyway, what that means with it being Flossmas is that every time you open up your Flosstube or your YouTube, which I just call Flosstube because that's pretty much all that I watch in the land of YouTube. But every time that I open it, there's like 57 videos to watch that are new instead of the 5 to 7 videos that I'm used to. So that has been fantastic because there's all kinds of stuff to watch and things to keep up with and, just little short videos, which I actually like more than the longer videos usually. But if you are choosing to watch my video amongst the sea of all of the Flossmas and everything else out there, then thank you. So, all right, let's see, since last one I recorded was right before Thanksgiving. So I did have Thanksgiving with my family, just my husband and my daughter. We did not have tacos. I did want tacos, but we did not have tacos. We ended up doing basically a sea of carbs, which is equally tasty. We had, stuffing, mashed potatoes, bread. We did a turkey breast and we wrapped it in bacon, which that was delicious. I will never go back to the giant turkey unless I have family over or something. From now on, it's gonna be turkey breast with bacon because bacon makes everything better. So all about that. We decorated our house, we got the decorations going. So we have our tree up, we have our inflatable Snoopy outside because we are a Charlie Brown household. And, we just did the front room and the outside, and I think that will be it for our Christmas decorations this year. But I'm just really excited that we have the Christmas decorations out because typically it's like the week before Christmas and we're just getting everything out and up. So that's a win for us this year for getting it out early enough to really enjoy it. So plus we got it out before it got too super cold, which granted, I live in Arizona, so when I say cold, it's probably not cold to most people. But, I grew up in the mountains and in the snow, so I feel like I used to be a little bit tougher, just a little. I've always been a little wimpy when it comes to the cold. But now that I live here, if it's like 75 degrees or colder, I am freezing. So this morning, I woke up and I had to make a quick coffee run. It was 39 degrees outside. That's like, I had a beanie, had gloves, I put my hood, like my hood was up like this the whole time. It was cold. The only good part to that is that I get to spend the day in my hooded sweatshirt and my PJs because it's a Sunday. So I guess there's that. All right. What else have I been doing? I've been watching some Netflix. I've really enjoyed the show, The Virgin River. It's like a Hallmark movie, but spread across 2 seasons instead of just 1 season or 1 movie. So that has been a really nice thing to watch just while I'm stitching and whatnot. I did get quite a bit of stitching in, so we will have that to go over. But The Virgin River, if you have not seen it, if you like, Hallmark movies, it's very kind of like a Nicholas Sparksy feel, just some of it is a little bit predictable, but it's got fun characters and it's just a nice, I like it. I recommend it. The Virgin River. I've also been watching a lot of Flosstube, obviously. I wanted to give a shout out to a new Flosstuber. Her name is Candy. Candy is a member of the Magazine Monthly Challenge group. She always participates in our monthly Zoom planning meetings. And she is a fantastic human being. She is super talkative and she's kind that she's fairly new to the cross stitch hobby, but she has, you know, really jumped in with 2 feet. So it's been really fun just kind of watching her learn and watching her grow. And, you know, she put up her first Flosstube video just this past week. And so I will link it below. Her channel is called the 614 Stitcher. Again, her name is Candy. And, you know, the best part about the cross stitch community is just how welcoming everybody is to one another. So yeah, I will put her channel down below, but stop in and say hello to Candy, because, you know, putting your first video up is always daunting. And so, you know, I was super excited when I heard that she was number 1 diving into the land of Flosstube, and number 2 that she had put her first video up. So welcome, welcome Candy. All right, I'm looking at my notes. All kinds of stuff to go over today. I've got a new start, I've got some whips, just a tiny little bit of haul, and then I wanted to go over my plans for WIPGO, my 2021 WIPGO. So we will go through those projects today. I also have a small giveaway at the end, so we will take care of that. And yeah, we'll dive right in. All right, first up, my whips. So I've been working on Bluebird Rhapsody. You guys have seen this, looks like this. I got quite a bit of progress made, so close to a finish, but not quite. So here is where we are at. This is stitched on I need to go through, I'll pull out my stitch journal because I can't remember if this was a 28 count or a 32 count linen, but 28 or 32 count linen. The color was lime sherbet, I believe. It was a piece I picked up from the Attic Needlework. This is almost done. I will take it out of its Q-snap, obviously, for the next video. But all that is left is some flowers. I have some finishing touches on the birds. As you can see, Tweety got bumped out of his nest and replaced with another bird. So he's now hanging out up here. But it's just some flowers, finishing up the birds. I notice I have like a floating leaf going on. So there's a little bit of tree kind of scattered amongst the areas. But after that, this one is a wrap. So this is going to stay in my rotation. So part of my plans for next week is to finish this because I feel like there's less than 300 stitches on this piece. So should be able to get that one knocked out and finished before the year is over. So that's exciting. All right, the next thing that I worked on is actually a new start. It's a new start and haul all in one. And so we'll show that. I went to Joann's over this last week, you know, looking for a couple things for decorations. They had a copy of the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, the Christmas edition. You all have seen this a bajillion times. I didn't subscribe to this magazine. I've never picked one up just because I don't do punch needle. I'm not really a primitive stitcher, so from the name, it just didn't call to me. I know everyone who gets this magazine absolutely loves it, and I just hadn't picked one up yet. Anyway, I saw this one at Joann's because I could flip through it. I realized that like the first 5 pieces in here were all things that I wanted to do like immediately. I mean, just on the cover, this Comfort and Joy by Misty Purcell. You can see this guy here with that bird. Yeah, I will be stitching this sometime soon. But the piece that I chose to start is one that you all have seen. Many Flosstubers are stitching it, but this is Winter Cardinal Etching. I just really love that it was so simple, you know, just the 2 colors and the aspen trees in the background. So my favorite tree is the aspen tree, and so I just had to stitch it. I picked it up just so I could start on that piece. So I started that. When I saw it, like I said, I like aspen trees. So those trees in the background, I really envisioned them being, you know, a white tree. And so I wanted more of a dark background with the white tree. And then I had kind of a different vision for the bird. So my finished piece is gonna look like nothing like this, but that's okay. Here's where I'm at. Just show it so we can show. So this is being stitched on a piece of 28 count linen by Stitch Me. There's no color. I want it in a Friday Night Fight Night. Trying to get, that's a pretty true depiction to color. It's not gray or black. It's actually got a really deep blue hue to it. So that it's a real deep mottled piece of linen. It's perfect for what I was picturing this piece to be. So really deep color linen, and then I'm stitching the trees in color and cotton. The color is natural cotton, so I'm stitching in the trees in this color. And then I'm gonna stitch all the trees first, and then I'm gonna start working on the bird. Now, I know it's a cardinal, but I kind of have this like picture of it still being real lighter tone, like having the whole thing being almost like a reverse shadow, you know, so the light against the dark. So I pulled a piece, also color and cotton. The color is icy gray, and it's kind of a silvery gray mixed with a blue. So it looks like this. I'm gonna put some stitches in with this color and just see how it looks against the fabric and with the trees. So I don't know, something like this. We'll see how that goes. That's the plan. I was watching Stitching by the Shore, which I will link that channel below as well. One of my favorite Flosstubers. I know I've talked about her before, but she is also stitching this piece, and she had the same idea. There's probably lots of people that have had the same idea, but she is stitching the trees in a white against a gray fabric, like a true gray. And then I think she's stitching the cardinal in a bright red. So I'm really excited to see how that's gonna turn out. I think it's gonna be beautiful. But and I'll link her channel below because she's pretty much at the same place. So it made me laugh a little bit because I was watching her channel and it was like, you know, kind of what I had in my brain, a little different, but the same. And then she held it up and she was like at the same place. So I don't know, made me laugh. All right, the last thing that I worked on was also for, both of these pieces were for the Magazine Monthly Challenge group. The Magazine Monthly Challenge, I'll just talk about that real quick. I was gonna talk about it later, but since I have 2 magazine pieces, we'll just do it now. So the Magazine Monthly Challenge group, the December theme is Winter Wonderland. So any piece that you have from a magazine that is winter themed, or it could be Christmas, however you want to interpret that, but Winter Wonderland is the theme. And then the acrostic is snow. So it's just 4 letters this time. And of course you can choose whatever you would like to do to make that acrostic work for you. I used the cardinal piece for my Winter Wonderland. And then I am using just 1 piece for all 4 acrostic letters. So for snow, I'm gonna be doing 2 hours on each letter, and it's all gonna be on 1 piece. So I'm gonna be getting 8 hours in on the Majestic Unicorn piece. Hopefully within those 8 hours, I will get closer to a finish. I don't have that much left to go, but it is full coverage, and there is a lot of, maybe not so much confetti. There's a little bit of confetti here and there, but it's full coverage, so it takes a minute. But so those are my plans for December. Is the Winter Wonderland is the cardinal, and the snow acrostic will be the Majestic Unicorn. If you are not part of the Magazine Monthly Challenge group, then I will link that below as well. Please come join us. It's on Facebook. It's a very low-key group. Lots of fun interaction, and my friend Carolyn from Seazook Stitch, her and I run that together, and we have some exciting stuff planned for January. So yeah, come stop in, come say hi, and I will link that below. All right, anyway, last thing I worked on, Magazine Monthly Challenge. This is Majestic Unicorn, and when I picked it up, I've only had an hour and 10 minutes. I worked on this yesterday. I spent 2 hours, but the first like 35-40 minutes I was trying to figure out my floss situation. I started this a year ago, and then I haven't picked it up, and I put the floss on punch cards, like index cards, which I do that all the time. but I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't label the cards with the DMC number. I don't know why, but I wrote down the name. On the chart, it actually has like the name of each color, like blue, light blue, medium blue, super light blue. There's a lot of blues though going on in here. And so I wrote down what it said, but I did not write down the DMC number. So it took me some time to figure out what shade of light blue this was. I got that figured out. I did number them since then. I've never done that before where I didn't write that down, and I don't do that now, so I don't know what that was about. But anyway, if you are making your own floss cards, please put down the DMC number so you don't do that. I'm not going to count that time as stitch time just because I want to put more stitches in, but I got this whole area done. I still need to fill in the horn, but I had not figured out what shades to use for that, so I need to hit my stash because I know I have those DMC colors in my stash, but I didn't have them, I think, at the time that I kitted this. So I've got this area to go, but I got all of this filled in. So again, this Majestic Unicorn is from Ultimate Cross Stitch Christmas 2015. I'll just show you the cover photo here. One day it's going to look like this. I started stitching this for my daughter, and again, I started stitching this like a year ago when she was really into unicorns. Now, you know, she's a 7th grader. She's probably not so into unicorns anymore, but she's still excited about this piece. So every time that I take it out, she gets excited because I'm working on it. And I really hope to have it finished by January of next year. It probably won't be December, but I'm gonna try. But if not, I'm gonna keep it out until it's done. So you will be seeing a lot of Majestic Unicorn in the future. All right, that was it for stitching. Like I said, almost completely done with the Bluebird Rhapsody. I have a new start in there, and then a little bit of time on Majestic Unicorn. I will go through, I'm gonna go through haul next just because I only have a small amount. And I think that talking about my plans and my WIPGO is gonna take a minute because I wanted to show you all of those pieces. So yes, we will do a little bit of haul. It was Thanksgiving, which means, you know, there was the Black Friday sales, the Cyber Monday sales, all of that stuff. I did not participate in most of that. Like I didn't really buy much actually, because as you know, I found that score of a lifetime at Goodwill, so I had a whole ton of fabric. When I was putting that away, it was just seeing all of the stuff that I already have. I didn't feel like I wanted to purchase more. Although the one thing that I did purchase was fabric, so I mean, so there's that. But it was a great deal, and I was excited. So I bought some fabric. I went on to this site. Hold on, let me get the tag. So Fortnite Fabrics. I've never tried Fortnite Fabrics before. I watched their Flosstube videos. They are fantastic, and everyone speaks highly about their fabric. So over the weekend, they had a 20% off sale, and that covered, you know, everything except for their monthly subscription things. They had a package of, you know, 5 or 6 hand-dyed fabrics that were Thanksgiving themed. They were all beautiful. And so, you know, 20% off. It was already a package deal. So that is what I picked up. I love the fabric so much that I am actually going to cancel my Color and Cotton monthly fabric subscription. I'm going to keep the floss because I really love the floss and I use it all the time. But, well, I was already going to cancel the fabric subscription just because I have a lot of fabric. The plan was just to cancel it, but now I'm going to cancel that and I'm going to join the Fortnite Fabric of the Month Club. They have new ones starting up for 2021, and one of them is called 12 Shades of Gray. Now, I'm all about the grays. That is my favorite colorway to work on. Those cool tones, all the grays. It's 12 Shades of Gray. It's like it was made, it called to me. So I signed up for that. Normally I sign up for things in a 32 count, but I have so much 32 count right now that I feel like I need to broaden my horizons a little bit. So I'm actually, I think I'm with a 28 count. The purchase that I made with the Thanksgiving themed fabrics was all on a 28 count even weave. And I did that because I figure I could either stitch with the 2/2, or with it being a 28 count, it's fairly easy to stitch over 1 if I decide I want something small and tiny. It's easier than 40 count. So, well, not that I would do 40 count over 1, but you know what I mean. Anyway, if you haven't seen these, I will show you everything that came in that Thanksgiving grouping. I think it's still available. It's beautiful. All right, so the first color was Blueberry Cobbler, and it is a true blue. That is coming out exactly how it looks, amazingly. Normally blue, you never know what you're gonna get on the camera, but that's pretty true. So that is Blueberry Cobbler. I love that everything is named, you know, something Thanksgiving meal-ish. Super fun. The next one is my favorite. It is a grayish hue. It's called Liver Puddin'. It's super pretty. I will be using this probably next month. I love this color. I love that it's not a true gray. It's, I don't know, liver. It's got like a liver hue to it. So, which sounds gross, but it's not gross. It's pretty. Liver pudding. And then we have Cranberry Sauce, which is a pinky red. Looks like this. Coming out pretty true. I don't have a lot of reds in my stash, so I don't really know that I stitch on a lot of reds, but I don't have a lot, so I'm excited to see what I use that for. Might be something Christmassy. We'll see. Then we have the greens, because you gotta have the greens. We had no greens with our Thanksgiving meal this year because it was all about the carbs, but typically I like some greens just to break that up. So we got that. Oh, this one's really pretty. This is called Grandma's Stuffing. Grandma's Stuffin'. It's a pretty, it's a golden color. It's coming up. Yeah, that's pretty true. It's a nice golden, like a goldenrod yellow, which, you know, I'm all about the yellow, so that is really pretty. And then probably the most neutral piece is kind of it's a brown. It's called Deep Fried, and this. I love the modeling. It's a heavy model, but they're usable, you know. It doesn't look like splotches necessarily. I love it. The fabric is nice and soft. I'm super excited. So 12 shades of gray will be my fabric of the month next year because these are fantastic. And we'll see. I'm thinking 28 count, not 32 count because I have enough of that. So either 28 or maybe 36, we'll see. So that is all I picked up. That was it from all of the sale items. I did get in the mail something really fun from my friend Tammy. My friend Tammy, she's not a cross stitcher. She does a lot of other crafts, but she doesn't really cross stitch. But her and I are friends. We both used to live, well, she still lives up north, but I used to live up north there as well. And so, you know, we still talk all the time. She is making, she's actually making like earrings and necklaces, and they're really fun. I don't actually know how she does it, but anyway, I saw them and I thought that it would make a really nice needle minder. So I asked her to mail me just the inside pendant piece of her earrings and necklace. And I haven't done it yet because I just got it, but I'm going to be making it into a needle minder. So she sent me woodstock. Can you see? It is woodstock with a really pretty like foil blue background on the snow. And it's flat. I actually like my needle minders to be fairly flat just because it's easier for me to lay the needles down. But I'm going to be adding some magnets to the back of this. Sorry for the glare, but it's foil and resin or something, and so it's very shiny, but it's like a marble, a flat marble. But thank you, Tammy. This is beautiful, and I cannot wait to put the magnet on the back and start using it to stitch with, because again, we are a Charlie Brown household, so love that. All right, plans. So obviously I will be keeping the cardinal in my rotation because it won't take long to get that stitched up, and I'm just really excited to see it when it's finished. Bluebird Rhapsody, I'm going to be keeping that out and finishing it and working on Majestic Unicorn. So you will probably see all 3 of those again next week. Nothing really new there. I do have a new start planned. I will be starting this piece with my friend Anne. Hi Anne, if you are watching. So this is her, I believe this is her birthday month. But I had shown this piece a while back, and she messaged me, and she also had this piece and asked if I wanted to stitch it with her, which of course I would love to. And so we are starting this week. This is the Owl Forest Embroidery Russian Windows. Looks like this. I fell in love with the colors of this piece. I mean, all of the, like the turquoise and the gold, it just seemed very, very classy, very dainty, I guess. I don't know. I loved it though. So this is Russian Windows. I did not get the kit, so this is just the pattern. I am going to be stitching it on a piece of fabric that I found at Goodwill. It's a 28 count Lugana in the color Fairy Dust. So it's a very, very light pink. Not pink, but it's, I guess, pinkish orange almost, but it very, very light. So it's not white. This piece of paper, see it? So it's definitely not white, but it's still a very light color. And I thought that it would pair nicely with the greenish blues that it called for. Then the colors that I'm using, I did some substitutions with some color and cotton threads that I had, just because I'm really trying to, to use those more. And I didn't have all of the DMC, and then one of the DMC colors I did have just looked completely different to me. The DMC color that they called for like this turquoise greenish color, it was like bright turquoise, and that color is kind of what drew me to the pattern, was that lighter greenish hue. And so I wasn't feeling that, so I replaced it. So I will be stitching, try to hold these up, I'll be using Color and Cotton's Mistletoe, which is this guy, Oceana, which is this one, and Dusty Blue, because there's just a little bit of true blue going on. So I have those 3, and then the DMC colors are 372 and 3052. So these 2 here. Let's see if I can lay these down. I need a better way of doing this. Future goals, but it will look something like, I like the colors together. We will see as I start stitching, but it should be a really fun stitch. I will be starting that today. Today? Sunday, yes. So Anne and I will be stitching this. If you guys have the Russian Windows chart, if you'd like to stitch that, feel free to join us. I'm terrible about using Instagram. I haven't been on Instagram and gosh, I don't even know how long. So I don't have a hashtag or anything, but if you're stitching it, put it in the comments, let me know, and maybe we'll create one. I don't know, but I'm excited for that. So Russian Windows is coming up. Beyond that, WIPGO. So I did not participate in WIPGO last year just because I didn't really hear about it at the very beginning, and I kept saying I wanted to do it throughout the year, but I have a little bit of like OCD when it comes to starting things. Like if I don't start at the very beginning, it's like I don't want to start it at all. I have a hard time getting motivated because I feel like I missed the beginning, and I can't make myself start midway. Like I want to be there for the whole thing, like right when it starts to the end. So I did not do anything last year, but this year, 2021 is right around the corner. I had already made a plan to do work on 12 main pieces throughout the year, And the WIPGO board has 25 squares, which if I put 12 things on there twice, then that leaves me the free space, and all 12 items will be on the board. So that was perfect. I think it's gonna work nicely. So we'll go through that. Instead of doing like a WIP parade, this is gonna essentially be my WIP parade, but it's my WIPGO parade, because these are the 12 pieces that I'm going to be working towards a finish on for next year. And then I figure the rest of my WIPs, you guys will see those come out. I'm joining the Magical Stitches. It's a Facebook group. I think it's Magical Stitches. I was really into that group back when it was Harry Potter themed. This year it's been Disney themed and I just kind of fell out of it. But I got back into it this month just to kind of get my feet wet, because for 2021, my main focuses are going to be, of course, the Magazine Monthly Challenge and then WIPGO. But then my third is going to be the Magical Stitches group, and I'm just going to be doing their weekly things to kind of make sure that I'm still touching all of my old projects. That way they don't just sit in the drawer. So that's the plan for that. So you'll see all those other WIPs as they come around, but since these 12 are going to be the focus, I figure we will do the WIPGO parade. All right, WIPGO board. I made my own. I know you can print it out, but I just drew one real quick. I'll be putting this into like a notebook, but I know you can't read it from this angle, but it's pretty basic WIPGO. I've got 12 projects. I put them on the board in no particular order. And then my free space is actually a new start. So I'll be doing a new start if they call number 13. If you're not familiar with WIPGO, I'll link that video below. I think she just put up her 2021 WIPGO video, so I will link that. It explains everything. It's pretty easy. You know, every month there's a Facebook group and she draws a number. If the number is drawn, then you work towards whatever your goal is. You know, you make your own goals. So my goal is 10 hours. So every time that they draw a square, I'm going to put 10 hours on that piece per month. And then once they draw that square, I'm going to keep that piece in my rotation until it is either finished, or a couple of these are really big ones. So in those cases, it would be like a page finish, but that's the plan. So 10 hours per square, and then I have a spot for 2021 finishes because I'm hoping to get 12 things finished or page finishes from this board. If I have a finish, so anything that goes on here for a finish, my reward is going to be start something new that's a little bit big, because I'm not doing the no starts in 2021 because that's crazy for me personally. I know my limits. That is not an attainable goal. But I do think that, I start things all the time for the Magazine Monthly Challenge group because, you know, they're smalls and they're magazine starts. But I don't want to start any of my larger pieces until I finish some of these older, larger pieces that are sitting in my closet, or right now, sitting right next to me. So I won't be starting anything new that's not a magazine start or something that I'm already slotted to start because of a SAL or it's part of a series that I'm starting with friends. I'm not going to do any of those until I finish these. So that is my finish reward. If I get a WIPGO, which is basically a bingo, anytime I get a bingo, I will be getting a new project bag. So I have just a few project bags that are, you know, like the sewn fabric project bags that are kind of bigger. I have a bunch of smaller project bags that my friend Anne, the one who I'm doing Russian windows with, sent me months ago. Those are fantastic, but they're smaller, and so some of my bigger pieces, or if it's on a Q-snap, it doesn't fit. And so I want to get some more large cross-stitch project bags. But those are a little spendy. They're not necessarily a need, they're more of a want. So I thought that it would be a perfect, you know, motivational finish item. So that is the WIPGO reward, which I listed here. So, all right, without further ado, there might be some crinkling because I haven't taken these things out of their bags. I'm trying to reach down here to pick it up. I have these stored, so any of the projects that I'm not actively working on, I have in these cases. And then these cases, they slide into like a drawer system. So they fit really nicely in my closet. The downside is then they're out of sight, out of mind, right? So once they hit this, unless I make myself pull them out of here, which is why I'm excited to do these challenges next year, they stay in here. I think I referred to them as pyads, projects in a drawer. I just made that up, but they became pyads. So we're gonna take them out. All 12 of them. I have in 3 cases. All right, in no particular order, WIPGO pieces and plans. So the first one that I have is Hark by Erica Michaels. And I'm just gonna go through and show you the chart and show you where I'm at. So obviously we'll talk about them more as they get called. But Hark by Erica Michaels looks like this. It's a Petites collection. I saw this one at the Attic Needlework. It was finished and I fell in love with it. I didn't realize from the finished piece that it was stitched on a piece of 40 count gauze. Had never worked on gauze before. So I am only here. I have had plans to work on this, I don't know how many times over this last year. And I think because it's on the gauze, it doesn't take a long time. You just have to get used to it. And so I really want to get this finished this year. So I've got part of the word hark and a little bit of the angel wing going on there. So, and it is itty bitty. It is stitched over one. I gotta look that up. It's been so long since I worked on this and I don't remember, but Hark by Erica Michaels. When they call that one 10 hours, by the time they call it twice, 20 hours, hopefully it'll be done. All right, the next one is White Willow Stitching Tribal Turtle. So chart looks like this. Mine will not look like this because I am not using those colors. This one will stitch up very quickly. I really like the design, but because of the fabric that I chose, it's pretty. It's just it's an Aida and it's not very soft. And so I just don't love working on it that much, but I am here. I forgot about my Calvin and Hobbes needle minder. I love that guy. I need to finish this just so I can get him back in my rotation. But I am here. I'm excited to get this one done for my husband who loves turtles. I think it'll look nice in his man cave area. So then we have New Year in the Village by Alessandra Adelaide. Looks like this. I have not pulled this one out since January of 2020. We are here. This is my Whoville Village. A 1-page start or 1-page finish. You can obviously see where that page cuts off. I have 1 page to go. This one does stitch up fairly quickly and I love working on it, but it hit the drawer, so I forgot about it. Right, next up we have Scatter Kindness by Hinzite. I don't know how to say that, but Scatter Kindness looks like this. And I am through the words, so almost through the words. I've got the rest of this S, so I'm almost through the Scatter Kindness part. This is the one where I started it, and I started because of the S, it kind of looked the same way, forwards and backwards. So I was stitching it like upside down and backwards. I mean, it stitches fine, but the way that I'm reading the chart is totally backwards. So I'm now stitching all of the words in this weird backwards direction, but it's working fine, clearly, so it'll work. All right, that's the first one. The next giant box here. Kind of forgot what I even put in here, but these are the fun bags that I got from Anne. A lot of these are Mania pieces. Right, we'll be working on, I don't actually know what this is called in English. Don't see it anywhere, but I call it the Ladybug Dandelion piece. I don't think that I stitched much on this. Nope, nope, I did not. We're here. So I have a ways to go. I've got a ways to go on that one. But it's a fairly quick stitch. I mean, there's not much to it. There's a ways to go. Next one, this is a large piece. This is Sunset. So obviously I will not have the entire thing finished this year because I don't have that much time. It's beautiful though. This is Sunset by Rosewood Manor. Looks like this. I started this for Mania and it hasn't been picked up since, so that's a ways to go on this guy. Mania start again, so that's all I have. It's just this teeny tiny, itty bitty little thing. Page finish. That is my 2021 goal on this one. So, I mean, I'd love to stitch more because it's beautiful, but page finish. I'll be happy with that. If I was planning ahead, I would have pulled all of these out of their bags, although I would have then probably mixed them up, and I don't want to do that, so. All right, next up is Beautiful Things by Lindy Stitches. I'm gonna keep this one. You guys recently saw this. Looks like that. And I pulled it off its Q-snap because it's waiting till it gets called. But we are here. Got to there. Got the really nice flower done. I am excited for this piece. I kind of want to keep it out, but there's just so many other things that I want to work on. So I'm gonna wait till this one's called because I think within 20 hours I should be able to have the bulk of it done. All right, this next one is a Satsuma Street. I have all 12 of these in my stash. So this one is Aries. It is the Zodiac. So I have all 12. They look like this. I'm working on Aries. I just eeny, meeny, miny, mode to figure out what order to do these in. So no particular order. I don't think I have any. I don't know very many Aries. So, what way does this go? I don't know. I'm here. There's some white in there. I don't know how well it's coming across on the camera, but I don't know what way it goes, but that's where we're at. So. These stitch up fairly quickly. There's just so many dang colors. You know, well, it's Satsuma Street, so that's what makes it great, but that's what makes it take forever, right? I'm trying to put the colors on the needle. Like, I need to pre-thread my needles when it comes to them because it just takes forever. All right, I just have a couple more, and that completes the WIPGO board. So this one I'm actually really excited about. This is a Dimensions kit called Mariner's Light. I've owned this like since I started stitching. I saw it, I loved it. I never picked it up or did anything with it. Well, I stitched a little bit of it, but then it just kind of sat around for like 10 years. So I'm sure this is still available somewhere. I'll have to look it up, but I'm stitching it as a kit, so called for everything. And I put a few stitches in on it for Mania. Most of this was done a long time ago. I think it goes like, this, maybe? I don't know. That's always the fun when I put things away. I need to start marking it, or like always putting the needle minder on the bottom or the needle on the bottom or something. So just so I don't spend so much time trying to figure out what is this. So that's where we're at there. And then the last one, number 12. Open this guy up. Sorry for the zipper. The last one is an anchor kit called Love at First Sight. I love these frogs. I find them adorable and I love frogs. So we will work on that. And this one is still in its little hoop. is here. So it's a kit called For Everything. Again, it goes one of these directions. I don't know, but more to come when they draw that one at some point over the next year. All right, that is all 12. Again, that is kind of the bulk of my plans for next year. When they call the number, I will pull that piece out and I will do the 10 hours. And then as soon as that number is called, that will stay in my stitch rotation. So I may do more. Obviously, I'll do more than the 10 hours if I can, mixed in with other pieces that I'm working on, because I really want to get a lot of finishes in next year, and I really want to start working through my stash. I'm not doing stitch from stash. I am just really going to be mindful on how much I purchase because I have so much. You know, I have a lot, and I went through a couple months this last year where I just wasn't stitching all that much, and so I'm thankful that I have all of this, but I just don't have the need, or I don't feel like I need to be buying more right now for me personally. Obviously, to each their own. I support everyone buying all of the things, but I need to slow it down in that world. So speaking of having so much, giveaways. So I talked about my Goodwill find in the last video. Found all kinds of fabric for like practically nothing. Obviously, if I stumble across something like that, you know, my first thought was, gosh, someone just donated someone's like lifetime supply, which at first made me a little tiny bit sad, but then it was, you know, it didn't mean anything to that person, and that's okay. But the end goal is that it lands in someone's lap that will appreciate it and that will share it with others. And so I stumbled upon it. I was very grateful and I appreciated it. And now I need to share it with others. So giveaways. I did mail out, I know this was many moons ago, but the last giveaway was the Mirabilia chart, and I finally got that mailed out after checking my email and such 2 days ago, Friday. So I am officially current in giveaway land. So it is time to re-up the giveaway stuff. So we're doing just one item today. It can go anywhere in the world, you know, overseas. It may take eternity to get to you. I know I shipped one thing out overseas and it was headed, I want to say it was headed to the UK, and no joke, it was 2.5 months from the post date mark to the time that it landed on her doorstep. I mean, I was happy that it got to her, but gosh, it took a long time. So if you're overseas, it might take a minute, but hopefully it will get there. So for this week, I am giving away a piece of 32 count lakeside linen. The color is vintage something. It's written in cursive. It's like a taupey brown. It's a nice neutral. That's actually pretty true right there. So it's a nice neutral, 32 count linen. Again, Lakeside is the brand, and you can see so that this came from originally the Attic, which is my local LNS. Ignore the Goodwill sticker, but see, it's vintage something, luau, lula. I don't know what that says, but it's a nice neutral. 16 by 16 is the cut, so it'd be great for anyone who's going to be working on a smaller sampler or anything. I mean, it's just a really nice neutral. So if you would like to win this piece of linen, let's use the keyword, how about Lakeside? Lakeside is a little bit different. One word, Lakeside will be the keyword. Let me write that down so I don't forget. Lakeside. Don't use the word giveaway. Please be 18 or older, just so that I can get your mailing address. And I will draw the winner for this on the next video, which will probably be next weekend, if not the weekend after. So I'm trying to film every week to every 2 weeks. But Lakeside Vintage Luau whatever this is, 32 count, 16 by 16. If you will use this, please use the word lakeside and we will get that out. All right, 49 minutes. That is all I have for you guys today. Say hi to Candy, the 614 Stitcher. Check us out on the magazine monthly group, myself and Carolyn Seazook Stitch, because we have fun things coming in January. We have a big month-long pop-up event starting, so more on that to follow. And hope to be finishing a piece, maybe 2 pieces. High hopes, we'll see. I have my last paper to write today, so after that I don't have any more papers for this, my current class. I'm working on my MBA, and so I will have a little bit of time off there. So that means there will be stitching and Flosstube watching, Flossmas watching, and YouTube or Netflix watching. I have to finish the Virgin River, so there's that. All right, thank you all for being here. Happy stitching, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye.